Manufacturing sector is the major employer. Spacecraft strike, asteroids. Both India and Pak are our partners. US. What is this? India meets South Africa in first T20 today. Three Gaelic loyalists get notice. No clarity on party president poll. With just 3 days left for filing of nominations, there is talk of Plan B among Gandhi family supporters. So far, only Shashi Tharoor and party's treasurer Pavan Bansal have collected their nominations form for contesting the party election. Amid the political crisis in Rajasthan, the Congress on Tuesday issued showcase notice to 3 loyalists of the Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot for grave in the indiscipline and sought a reply within 10 days, but did not seek any action against Mr. Gehlot himself. This keeps the possibility of Mr. Gehlot candidature for the parties the presidential elections open thought. There is no official word from him or the Congress on whether he would file his nomination. Only 3 days remain now for the nomination process to end on September 30. So whatever it may be within the party, you try to check it and it will go. Congress leader Sachin Pilot arriving at his residence in New Delhi on Tuesday. 2 junior contest Bengal. Tharoor hits a hurdle in Kerala. Let EC decide Sindhe's claim on real Shivasena SC. Let EC decides a claim on real Shivasena SC. In a blow to Uddhav Thackeray faction, a constitution bench of the Supreme Court on Tuesday allowed the Election Commission EC to take a decision on Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's claim that his faction represented the real Shivasena party. The bench led by Justice by Chandrachud rejected the Thackeray's camp plea to stay the EC proceedings under the election symbols, reservation and allotments order of 1968. Later in Gandhinagar, Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar told press persons that the EC would follow the laid down process while deciding the matter. Mr. Thackeray side argued in the court that the disqualification of the petition against the Shinde faction that were pending before the Speaker under the 10th schedule anti-defection law of the Constitution. It said the EC proceedings should be stayed till the bench decide the question of law referred to it, which including whether the descent of the Mr. Shinde faction without latter forming a new party or merging with another was split from other original Sena. The mere fact that the reference has been made does not stall a constitution authority like the EC from taking recourse to its power, Justice Chandrachud said. Stop defamatory tweet against LD. The Delhi EC on Tuesday ordered the app and its 5 leaders of the refrain from the posting any defamatory tweets against L&G Vinay Kumar Saxena and his family, promoting Mr. Saxena tweet Satyadev Jayate. LJ Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena. Excise policy, CBI arrested Vijay Nair. Over 170 PFI activists detained across India. Falke Award for Asha Parekh. Dada Saheb Palke Award for 2020 will be conferred on actor Asha Parekh. The information and broadcasting ministry said on Tuesday. The award will be presented the 60th National Film Award ceremony on September 30. Announcing the decision, Union Minister Anurag Thakur said, "I am honored to announce that the Dada Saheb Palke selection jury has decided to award Mr. Parekh for her exemplary contribution to the Indian cinema." Very good. Over 170 PFI activists detained across India. Simultaneously, searches were conducted by the police teams at multiple locations in 7 states and Union Territory on the Tuesday during the second round of crackdown on the Popular Front of India. Over 170 people have been, I will make it broader. Over 170 people have been either arrested or detained. The searches were on in Assam, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Kerala, Delhi and Karnataka. These were based on intelligence inputs and the information gathered during the first NIA led climb down on 15 states on September 22. The page continues. No need it. Art of the contrails. Gout up to capture data on groundwater level. Enter Delhi dispute to be heard on November 9. A constitution bench led by the Justice D.Y. Chandrachud on Tuesday argued to start a hearing from the November 9 and a dispute between the center and the Delhi government for the control over the bureaucrats in the capital. In May, a 3-judge bench led by then the Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, had referred to Constitution bench the limit question concerning services, the bureaucracy for an authoritative pronouncement. For 4 years ago, another Constitution bench had unanimously held that the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi was bound by the aid and advised of the popularly elected AAP government, and both had worked harmoniously with each other. However, the 2018 judgment had not specifically dealt with the issues of services. The Delhi government had compared its predicament without power over the services like that of a king without a kingdom. The censor had argued that the Delhi and the national capital should be under its control. Delhi could not be left the small mercies and small resources of a state legislature of the censor reasoned. Okay. You will see this is going on, Lieutenant Governor and Delhi government, it is going on. Something they will relieve. MCD yet to be by insecticides despite rise in dengue cases. HAP on Tuesday alleged that the Municipal Corporation of Delhi has not yet bought insecticides despite dengue cases rising in the city. In response, the CMD said that it has sufficient stock of insecticides and medicines. Good. Gout to launch winter action plan. The Delhi government will launch it will action plan on September 30, control air pollution, environment, Minister Gopal Rai said on Tuesday. Court asked app to take down defamatory post against Lieutenant General Governor. Satyamev Jayate tweets Lieutenant General statements by the app, its leaders, prima fascist defamatory observes. Quote, BJP demands apology. Why is Lieutenant General running away from investigation? Asks up. Woman ends life over harassment for dowry. What is this in educated areas also doing like this? Woman ends over harassment for dowry. A 25 years old woman killed herself on Sunday, allegedly over dowry related harassment in southeast Delhi, Govindpuri. The police said on Tuesday the victim made a video where she blamed her husband for her death. A senior police officer said the police received a call about the incident on Sunday. A case under the section 498A, husband or relatives of the husband of woman's subjecting her to cruelty. 304B, dowry death, and 34 common intention of the IPC was registered on Monday. The officer added, suicide prevention held helpline సంజీవిని సొసైటీ ఫర్ మెంటల్ అండ్ హెల్త్ ఈ నెంబర్ ఉంది. ఎవరైనా సూసైడ్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే ఈ నెంబర్ చేయండి. అసలు సూసైడ్ ఎందుకు చేసుకుంటారా? వాళ్ళేందో డోర్ అడిగిరాని, వాడేందో లంగగాడంటే అనేకమైన కోట్లు ఉన్నాయి, సమాజం ఉంది. బయటికి వెళ్ళి ఇద్దరికి చెప్పి కట్టమడుతుంటే ఊరోళ్ళు వచ్చి పల్ల సంపాదిస్తారు. ఏందమ్మా భయపడేది దీనికి? 498 కేసులు పెడితే ఏమన్నా వాడి ఆమె చచ్చిపోయింది. అమ్మాయి 25 ఏళ్ళ అమ్మాయి పెళ్ళికి వాళ్ళు డోర్ అడిగిరని చనిపోయింది. వేస్ట్. అట్లా తొందరపడి చచ్చిపోవద్దు. Rape accused molest junior doctor in jail. An under trial prisoner allegedly molested a 31 years old junior resident doctor at Mandali jail and also tried to rape her. The police said on Tuesday the accused Sabrat Pillai 30 is lodged in jail in a rape case. The police added. The incident took place on Monday afternoon when the junior doctor was conducting a regular checkup of the inmates at the jail hospital. A senior police officer said the officer added that the accused hid in a toilet of the jail hospital where he cornered the doctor and allegedly molested her. The accused also tried to rape her, following which the doctor raised an alarm and alerted the security staff. She managed to push him away and ran outside. The officer also said, what is this? Isn't it jarugutunayi? Rape accused molest the junior doctor in jail. This is the thing is going on. ఓరి బాబు, జైళ్ళల్లో కూడా భయం లేదు, నాకు భక్తి లేదు. జైలుకి పోయినోడికి అసలు భయమే ఉండదు. ఇక నరేంద్ర మోడీ సార్ ఎంత మంచిగా ఉండవు. నేషనల్ రిమెంబరెన్స్ ద గ్రేట్ రెవల్యూషనరీ ఫ్రీడమ్ ఫైటర్ షాహిద్ భగత్ సింగ్ on his birth anniversary to the 22 tributes. CBI arrests HAP communication in charge in Delhi excise policy case. He was pressurized to take the Sisodia's name, threatened with the arrest. Has nothing to do with excise policy, says HAP lookouts. Notices were issued against the Vijay Nair, former CEO of Mumbai, based only much louder, and seven others last month. Yamuna level rises further. Gout moves 5,500 people to safety. ఏందో సుతమే యమున గంగ యమున తుంగ భద్ర. Around 5,500 people were shifted from low-lying areas near the Yamuna floodplains to schools, community centers, and temporary tents on Tuesday. The water level of the Yamuna crossed the danger mark on Monday and is expected to rise further according to the authorities. The water level measures at the old railway bridge in Delhi was 206.38 meters at 6 p.m. and Tuesday up from the 206.7 meters at 6 a.m. as per the official data. The water level of the Yamuna in Delhi is 204.5 meters and the danger mark is 205.33 meters, both measures at the old railway bridge. At 4 p.m., 32,912 cusecs of water, 32,912 cusecs of water was released from the Athinkund barrage in the Haryana. He expected the water level to rise 206.50 meters by 10 p.m. night. As an official said, the Athinkund barrage is pointed along the river in Haryana, upstream of the Delhi, and water released from the barrage affects the flow of the river in the capital. About 37,000 people living in the Yamuna floodplains and low-lying areas in the city are considered the vulnerable to flood. The flooding, the Delhi government starts evacuation efforts when the water level crossed the 206 meters mark. No one at risk. We started the evacuation process on Monday night. Right now, no one is risk as we have moved everywhere to higher grounds. We are also providing food, water, shelter to the evacuated the people, said Anil Banka, district magistrate. Almost every year, the Delhi government set up temporary tents near these affected areas and people are moved to them are government schools if required. ఇది పరిస్థితి. ఏంది యమునా నది ఢిల్లీలో ఉర్రూతలూగుతూ ప్రవహిస్తుందంట. ఇక్కడ 5,500 మందిని ప్రజలను లోతట్టు ప్రాంతాల నుంచి ఇక్కడ గట్టు ప్రాంతాలకు ప్రవహించేది. అది ముఖ్యంగా 204 ఉంటేనే డేంజర్ అని ప్రకటిస్తారు. అది 205, 206 మీటర్లకు పెరిగిపోయింది కాబట్టి డేంజర్ అని ప్రకటించింది. 32,912 క్యూసెక్ల వాటర్ విడుదలైనటువంటి సందర్భము ఇక్కడ మనము యమునా నదిలో చూస్తూ ఉన్నాం. DO encourages students to think on their own, take risk. DU encourages students to think on their own. Sudam, a great institution is defined by a student, and this book encapsulates the lives and memories of some of the students from diverse field who have done remarkably well, said Union Minister Hardeep Puri at the launch of book. Delhi University. Okay, good. DDA likely to issue conditional notice for the land pooling policy. Land policy చదవమంటావా? ఓకే 1 minute కంప్లీట్ చేస్తా. ఫస్ట్ DDA likely to issue conditional notice for the land pooling policy. The Delhi Government Authority DDA means Delhi Development Authority is soon likely to issue a conditional notice for the formation of consortium at sector 17A in zone N identified as a part of the urban bodies land pooling policy LPP according to a senior DDA official. The urban body first is used to conditional notice for the consortium formation to landowners in May in the 3 sectors in zones N and P second. వదిలేదు మనకు సంబంధించింది కాదు, బట్ ఎనీవే ఎవరైనా ఉంటే తెలుసుకోవాలనుకున్న వాళ్ళకి మాత్రమే అది పనిచేస్తుంది. HC affords like terms Assam extremist leader in blast case. Akhilesh likely to be re-elected chief at SP National Convention. Samajwadi Party says it will be discussed that the current political and economic scenario along with the neglect of the BJP double engine government towards development working in Uttar Pradesh. Double engine లేదు, triple engine లేదు, పోనీ చేయండి. ఎక్కడ డబుల్ ఇంజన్ ఏం కాదు. No headway on pending issues at meeting by MHA between Telangana AP. No headway on pending issues at meeting by MHA between Telangana AP. ఏదంట on the division of cash and bank balance, the Home Secretary directed both states to take the help of the controller and Auditor General. ఏం చూద్దాము? The meeting convened by the Union Home Minister the resolved the pending bifurcation issues between two Telangana state, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh did not make much headway as that two states stayed firm on their respective stances on crucial issues such as division of scheduled X institutions, AP State Finance Corporation and division of Singareni Collieries Company Limited. Court cases filed by the two states in respect of division of some institutions as well as the definition of headquarters resulted in the stalemate with the Union Home Secretary asking the Ministry to examine the issues in consultation with the Law Department, keeping in view of the order given by the High Court. The Telangana delegation led by the Chief Secretary Somesh Kumar made a strong case pertaining to the division of the erstwhile AP SFC claiming that the center did not act on its request for the reconstitution of the corporation board. The state sought the reconstitution of the board then the board APSFC prepared a bifurcation plan unilaterally while the AP government had approached the High Court against the resumption of 238 acres land resulting in the status quo and the issue. Representative of AP contended that the union government should keep aside the land issues and take up the remaining issues. However, Telangana object to the contention. The speaking order. The Chief Secretary recalled the Speaker order the issues by the Home Ministry in respect of the bifurcation of the scheduled X institutions that cash balances between the two states would be divided on the population ratio and assets on location basis. The division of the Singapore చాలా పెద్దగా ఉంది ఇది మ్యాటర్ హెడ్లైన్స్ పోయి పెద్ద మ్యాటర్ ఎక్కువైతుందిగా. J.P. Nadda holds the private meeting with the two Catholic archbishops in Kerala. JD workers the pitch Nitish Kumar has a next PM caution people against BJP. Okay. 5,000 Apple trucks remain stranded on highway Mehbooba to Jain Style. An attempt to get the Indian Railway back on track. చూద్దాం అసలు ఇసంటివి ఒకసారి ఈవినింగ్ చేద్దాం మనం. ఈవినింగ్ ఇసంటి దాంట్లో కొంత చూద్దాం టెక్స్ట్. ABD gives funding to AIDS Asia Pacific food insecurity crisis. Center set goal to reduce the particulate the matter in the cities. Adani groups invest heavily in their energy transition business. Floods in Pakistan leaves massive trail of the destruction. Government population. The NASA spacecraft asteroids collision. This is also in time. On reservation for EWS, a test for law and justice. ఇది చూడాలి ఏందో ఇదొకటి గట్టిగా. ఫ్రమ్ ద ఆర్చివ్స్. A tagged rally taken by the Dalit League protesting against the government economic bill to provide 10% quota to economically weaker sections in Mallapuram in 2019, Sheikh Hussain. On reservation for EWS, a test for law and justice. While in most cases the Supreme Court won, President provided the principled answers. The challenges made to the 103rd constitutional amendment present a more difficult judicial examination than usual. The Supreme Court has reserved its verdict on a batch of plea challenging the validity of the 103rd constitutional amendment providing 10% reservation to the EWS economical weaker sections persons in admission and government jobs. In this article dated July 16, 2019, Surhit Parthasarathi explained how the reservations based on economic status is against the elementary conception of equality guaranteed by the Constitution. This is question. Constitution challenges are often described as hard cases. This is, however, seldom invariably disputes process a simple solution. We can debate over what theories of interpretation to apply and over whether the text of clause need to be read literally or in a light of its historical background. But in most cases the Supreme Court won precedent and commonly accepted legal theories provide an easy enough guide to find a principled answer. The challenge is made to the 103rd constitutional amendment, to which a two-judge bench of the Supreme Court is slated to hear this month, present a rather more difficult test. Here the issue, here the issues involved concerned questions both over whether the amendment infringes the extant idea of equality and over whether that idea is so intrinsic to the Constitution that the departing from it will somehow breach the document of basic structure. The court's answer to these questions will operate not merely within the realm of the law, but will also likely have a deep political bearing. For a state here is the very nature of the justice that India's democracy embodies. The law, which was introduced in January this year, amendment Article 15 and 16 of the Constitution, and grant to government the power to provide for reservation in appointments to post under the state and in admissions to educational institutions to economically weaker sections EWS of citizens. At first blush, this reservation, which can extended up to 10% of the total seats available, may not appear to impinge on the exting the constitutional arrangements, but what it does make is a quota that will apply only to citizens other than the classes that are already eligible for reservations. Consequently, persons belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and persons who are not part of the creamy layer of the other backward classes will not be eligible. The seats available under the quota. According to the petitioners in the Supreme Court, the central hypothesis of the amendment where reservation is predicated in individual economic status violates the Constitution basic structure. In their belief, the law, by providing for affirmative action unmindful of the structural inequality inherent in India's society, overthrow the prevailing rational for reservation. In doing so, they argue the amendment destroys the Constitution idea of equal opportunity. The Union of India argues while the Constitution demands equality, it does not confine the Parliament to any single section. According to it, the power to amendment the Constitution must necessarily include a power to decide how to guarantee equal status to all persons. Meaning and purpose. In some sense of sociologist Gail Omdev wrote in this page, the purpose of the reservation, 1st March 24, 2000, the whole history of the struggle for reservation has also been debate about its very meaning and purpose. When reservations were first introduced by some of the princely states, the policy was seen largely as an elevative measures. For instance, in the princess states of Mysore, where privileged the caste and the concerned virtually every post of available under the government. A system of reservation was introduced de- uh, denominating communities as a backward classes and providing for them a larger share in the administration. By the time the constitution was being dropped as a reading of the constant assemblies, debates shows us the rationale for the reservation had broadened. The constitution frames saw the measures as a promise against the prejudice, as a tool to assimilate deprived groups into the public life, and as a measure as a means of reparation to compensate persons belonging to those groups for the reprehensible act. Discrimination discrimination wrote on them through history. Marg Gallant has called this compensatory discrimination principle. Yet, despite the expanded justification, the basic fundamental logic for reservation was still predicated on a demand for fair and more representation administration. The more representative share in political administration. This is demonstrated by R.M. Nalavat's comment in the Constant Assembly. Over experience in the province through there are the provisions for the reservations in the services is better. He said, even though the depressed classes are educated and disqualified, they are not given a chance for employment under the provincial, the government. Now that we have provided for this in the constitution itself, there is no fear for the scheduled caste, and according to this clause, we can be adequately represented in the provisional as well as in the central services by providing for more appropriate mode proportional distribution of the share in administration. The program of reservations, it was believed, would end at least some of caste based dominations of jobs, particularly of employment in the public sector, and domination that was built over thousands of years, where Dalit and Adivasis were denied the access to equal status. As Mr. Omdev has pointed out, the strategy behind reservations could therefore never have involved an attack on pure economic backgroundness. The idea was always to disavow a caste monopoly in the public sector. Theory of justice. Even when the Constitution First Amendment was introduced in 1951 to allow the state to make special provisions behind the reservations in public employment for the advancement of any socially and educationally backward the classes of citizens, or for the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes. The rationale as the lawyer Malvika Prasad Lawyer Malvika Prasad has argued remained constant attempts made at the time to categorize individual on the basis of the economic status were expressly rejected. Behind this thinking was distinctive theory of justice that by the according to the greater share in public life to historically disadvantaged group. Disadvantaged group would stand enhanced. No doubt such a policy would not in and of itself help eliminate the various inequality produced by the caste system, but it was believed it would represent a resolute effort to eliminate at least some of the caste based domination prevailing in society. Indeed, the policy and the idea of justice that undergirds it have been seen as so indispensable to the Constitution's aims and purpose that the Supreme Court in state of Kerala, V.M. Thomas, in 1975 held that reservations based on social and the educational backgroundness far from being an exception ought to be seen as an intrinsic facet of the idea of equality. Unseating equality. It is in departing from this logic that the 103rd Amendment unseats the Constitution Code of Equality. Pure financial ability is a consistent criterion. It doesn't place the people into the definite group requiring the special privileges. If anything allowing for reservation on such a principle only further fortifies the abilities of powerful caste to retain their positions of authority by creating an even greater monopolization of their share in administration. If such an end is indeed the vision is difficult to see how the elementary conception of equality guaranteed by the Constitution can continue to survive now. No doubt the Supreme Court may, on the face of things, consider Parliament as a passaging the power to altogether dismantle the Constitution's existing ideas of equality without simultaneously demolishing the document's basic structure. But if nothing else, when the court hears the challenges made to the 103rd Amendment, it must see the petitioner's arguments as representing a credible, defensible views. The least of the court ought to do. Therefore, it is refer the case to a constitution bench, given that Article 145 by 3 amendments, such as inquiry on any issues involving substantially questions of law and concerning the Constitution's interpretation and the meantime stay the operation of the amendment until such a bench hears the case fully. Should the court fail to do so, the government will surely one day present to it a cruel fate accompany. सुदेश परिषद और बाबू ये क्या बात है, इतना बड़ा है, बहुत सुंदर है. theory of thermos and rape. In first state bench cases, beamed live on YouTube. What is this? 3 benches heard the EWS quota, Shiva Sena split and all India bar examination cases simultaneously and were led by the CJI Justice Chandrashud, Justice Kishan Kaul in their court. Oh. It was big. 3 Galit loyalists get notice Rajasthan. Okay, at the state funeral in the Tokyo, the Modi recalls Abe's vision for free, open Indo-Pacific. Calcutta SC asks the CBI to probe TET exam scam. Army deploys medium long range weapons cross northern border. Gout up to capture the data on groundwater. MLA question Gehlot leadership capacity. It's UP Sachin pilot to decide which direction is future takes. BJP గుంతన కలాక కూర్చున్నది ఏం జరుగుతుంది అని చెప్పి. What has happened in Rajasthan is a manifestation of the internal contradictions within the Congress and Kwajib says BJP state unit. Chief adding that his party will wait for the 2020 assembly elections. Salpat. 2 junior to be Congress chief says Bhagel. Tharoor facing steep challenge from Kerala Congress colleagues. Steep challenge. Hamid protest app moves confidence motion in Punjab Assembly. No confidence motion. Jobs grew in final quarters of last fiscal. Manufacturing is a large contribution survey. చూద్దాం ఇవన్నీ చాలా ఉంటాయి. ఓన్లీ హెడ్లైన్స్ అంటే కొంచెం కష్టమే. NASA spacecraft crashes into asteroids. Modi sees quad lifting the Indians' trade investment flow. Sita lines ikkane bagunayi vaartalu. National Open Athletics Championship comes Bangalore after nearby the 3 decades. Okay, India South Africa begin final dress rehearsal for the T20 World Cup. We are looking to fill up the whatever gap that is there. Indian Express only one paper headline. Fight for real Sena. SC rejects Uddhav plea. Let's see EC decide. Notice issued to 3 Rajasthan leaders. Congress lies all cards on table. Keep Gehlot line. Open looks at options. India missing Abe PM in Tokyo. After Jaishankar swipe at US over Pak, F-16s, Blinken says only to fight terrors. Half Vijay Nair arrested in Delhi excise policy case. At PM cabinet meeting in Ujjain, the portrait a deity takes center stage. Deity stage. Rupani resigned as a CM after being told only the previous night by party. 15 stations, 14 kilometers. Simla aims to decongest roads within ropeway strainist. మొత్తం ropeway అంటే ఇదంతా. మొత్తం అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ అది. ఆపు అసలు ఆడు వాడు. How Delhi cops kept hopes against the PFI under wrap. Judge grills investigators in Amatullah Khan case. Jail doctor molested by inmate. Reckless without the verification HC as app to take down posts on LG. Okay. Thank you very much. We will meet. It is very late. I think